Get more men then.
I will.
Okay.
Look at me, doing it anyway. Look at me, having some fun today.
Man versus knitting.
Hi, everybody. My name is Charles Clark, and this is Man versus Knitting. I want to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Just hit the subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to be notified of future episodes, just hit the bell, and it'll be you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new episode, which will be shortly. This is a special episode because I'm changing the format a little bit based on viewership and statistics that are analytics that YouTube has given me. So look for shorter episodes and more content in a tighter time frame. So let's get right to it. This would normally be the My Story section, so I'm just going to get to telling you about my fiber journey. It started most recently with the East Texas Fiber Festival, which I told you about last episode. I went, and it was interesting because it, like I said, it's moved from Lindale to Canton, Texas. Canton has the world's biggest flea market, so it's really not a place for $27 skeins of yarn. A lot of people, I think, there wasn't a lot of people walking around with bags, and the energy level wasn't the greatest. So, plus the lighting was more halogen lighting, and I just wasn't inspired to share a lot with you. But if you follow me on the Facebook page, you'll saw that I ran into Cheryl Means from the Woolen Hook. Very happy to see her. And of course, Susan from Yarnorama. And of course, Roundtable Yarns was there. Leon Alexander Yarns was there. So it was really great running into people who support the channel and who have been an inspiration to me. And I did meet a couple of other people who I plan on interviewing very soon, and so I hope to bring their stories and their experiences to you as well. But after that, I didn't really buy a lot while I was there. After those few interactions, I really didn't do a lot. But I did come across this one booth. It was called Magpie Wishes. She's a really neat lady, and she had this bag, which I thought was really, really great. What's nice is it has a patterned inside, so it doesn't have, it's not dark, and it has a tape measure, which is almost completely accurate on here, so that'll be nice. And it has a little snap, so you have a ruler. And what I liked about that was it's so lightweight, so if I ever did, since I am knitting a few more socks, or that's my goal here, then I can keep the yarn here and be knitting, and it's super lightweight. Whereas I normally knit in public and I have a yarnet, like I told you about last time. This is more portable, so that's kind of nice. But what attracted me in her booth were these little mini sock blockers. And I thought, oh my God, that is so cute. But what are they for? And she told me, or she showed me the stockings that she was making, and they're little bitty stockings. She wanted to do a stocking garland, and I thought, wow, that's great. So I want to be doing a stocking garland as well. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. So I'll be making a stocking garland. My goal is to make one a day in December, so that I can show you guys what I'm doing with all the different sock yarns, and to give you an idea of what it is, and I'll be blocking them all on this little mini sock blocker. So look forward to that. But yeah, that's Magpie Wishes, and I'll put her email address here, and then that way you can get that information for getting your own little mini sock blocker, or maybe you like a bag. All right. After the Fiber Festival, I went to West 7th Wool in Fort Worth, and you met Hunter Young recently. And the reason why I went was because the organization from the North Texas Yarn Crawl I had gone on had emailed me and said that I'd won a prize. Well, if it's a door prize, normally or in my past experiences, the shop themselves that you won the door prize at would contact you and say, hey, you want a prize? And be like, oh, great, thank you. But this was the organization itself, so I thought I won one of the bigger prizes. I was like, wow, that's great. I mean, I didn't expect it, but okay, great. So I drove to West 7th Wool because that was the designated store that I'd put on all my forms. And I got there, and Hunter looked at me and he's like, you came here for this? I could have mailed it to you. And showed it to me, and it was a door prize. It's some lace weight yarn, some novelty metallic, and then a pattern called the bias stripe scarf, which is on a female form in the picture, so I'm sure it's very feminine based on the colors and the pattern. But at any rate, I was happy to get it, happy to see Hunter, but I didn't want it to be a wasted trip. So apart from my door prize, which I was happy to get, I bought some more yarn. So the first, put this down. The first one I got was this Araucania. It's called Huasco, River of Gold. And just the colors were so great. If you can look here, just look at how just great these colors look. Tons of fun. And I bought 3 skeins of it. So I should be able to make something really nice with this. It is a really small yarn, so it's a number 1. Remember we talked about the standard weight system, and this being a number 1 means use a small needle, 1 to 3, I believe. Oh, it's so small, I can't tell. But yeah, it's probably a 1 to 3 needle, and so it'll. I'm glad I got 3 skeins because it'll take a lot to make something at that rate. And then they also had a new yarn there in the shop, which I thought was pretty nice. Yarn shops, I like when they have variety and when they bring new stuff in. It's not just new colorways, but new yarns completely. And this one was really nice, and I believe it comes all the way from Scotland. I could be wrong, but it's Forest Fiber Arts. And if you look at these greens, I just thought it was so just depth. And of course it's called River Rock. So I really, really liked the name and what it stood for. And so I got a couple of skeins of this. So I'm excited about how this is going to end up. This is a light fingering weight as well. So it's going to be this says sport weight, but it really looks lighter than that to me. And so I'm excited to knit something, and I'll let you know when I do. So that was pretty much all the yarn I'd gotten. It was a pretty light haul for being a yarn festival and a yarn shop combination, but it was nice. And the other thing I got from West 7th Wool was this really nice, it's called a wrist ruler. It's by Love Handles out of PDX, Oregon. I'll put the picture of it here and put this back. What I liked about it was that it was a dark brown. I've seen a lot of them and they're blingy, and I don't really do a lot of bling, but this was a nice masculine color. Hunter had one as well, and his had patinaed really nicely, and so I thought this would as well. But it has a nice sterling silver clasp or post, and it's super easy to put on. And so I don't mind having this, because as I knit more socks, or really anything, and you want to know, how many inches have I made? Well, this is pretty accurate. It's got inches on one side and centimeters on the other. So no matter what the pattern I'm using, I'll be able to measure appropriately. So I'm kind of excited about that. Next thing I wanted to let you know about is we did a giveaway last episode, and nobody commented. Well, one person commented that said they weren't going to enter because they already had all of the issues that I was going to be giving away. So with that said, they are still here. I'm going to be using them and giving them away at a separate time, I guess, until we get more interaction with you guys. We won't be doing any giveaways, but that's okay. I told you about the sock blocker, of course, making the little garland things. And that's one thing I want to do every day because they're so tiny. I can make one a day. And the idea is that I would show you every day what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be doing an episode every day in December. It's not going to be on YouTube entirely. It'll be on Instagram as well. So if you follow me on Instagram, here's the address, then you can be notified of when I put something up there. Also Facebook, under the Facebook page. So if you don't subscribe to the Facebook page or follow us, then please do so. Here it is. And I wanted to let you guys know also that I created a Ravelry group. So there's a Man vs. Knitting Ravelry group here. And I invite you to go there and join it and introduce yourself. That's meant to be more about a support place for the Ravelry and fiber community. So I hope that if you have an account, you'll go there and join that group and introduce yourself. With that said, one thing that I really enjoy is supporting other fiber artists. And one of those that you know about is Karen Dawn with Roundtable Yarns. And one thing that she did was she did an Advent calendar this year, but she did a little bit different. And instead of a calendar that you open each time, she said that it's different. But I haven't looked, and so I wanted to show you it now. I cut the tape earlier, but that was it. So it's a big box too, which is really funny for an Advent thing. But you open it up, it's got tissue. Oh, okay, there's a card. Welcome to the Advent calendar for 2019. Happy holidays from Karen at Roundtable Yarns. This box is intended to last you for 25 days, allowing you, starting on December 1st, which is today, to open one small bag per day in numerical order for 24 days, and then the final larger bag on the 25th day. It says, of course, if you can't wait, open everything at once, but I'm not going to do that. And then talks about some ideas for the minis, but I have my own ideas usually. But, well, here, let me show you. So it looks like a lot of bags. So there's all these little mini bags, and each one of them has a number. And then I guess this is the larger bag in the back. So this is the first, so I can open number 1. So I'm gonna, okay, so we have, these are tight. All right, here we go. I wonder what I could do with these bags afterwards. If you have an idea, let me know. But it's blue. Oh, look. So it's a, like sort of a semi-solid blue. Here, check out the blues. Yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of variation in that blue. So that's kind of nice. So we'll add this to the rest of it and see if we can't make something really special. But this is day 1. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And I'll be doing a unveiling every day. So you'll be able to see that. And something else that I've been doing, my desk, you notice, is a little different because it's a little, and I don't have my table because I'm using it for something else. But my yarn studio is a mess. And it has been for a while because I've been doing so many different things and shows and episodes and stuff that I haven't really organized. And then after the Hurricane Harvey happened, and we moved back into the house because we had some damage, I kind of never reorganized after that. Then we just had the 2-year anniversary a few months ago. So it was time for me to reorganize. So what I've been doing is adding my stash, my yarn stash, to Ravelry. We visited that site several months ago, and I want to show you a different aspect of it, something that I think will help you as a knitter. So here it is. Okay, so for website this time, we're going to be doing it from a little different perspective. I'm actually in the middle of completely reorganizing my yarn studio. So this is kind of like madness behind me. But this is sanity and then madness. So I'll explain a little bit about what that's going to be. And so let's dive into it. So the idea is that I'm going to be organizing my stash. And I'm doing that by visiting Ravelry.com. We've already been to Ravelry to understand a little bit about what it does. But what you can do is you can organize your stash in a way that, and I mean your yarn stash, in a way that can blow your mind. And so I want you to kind of see how I'm doing it. So maybe it's something that you could practice as well. So what I've done is set up a little mini studio in my yarn studio, and all it is, and I'll show you here, is I've taken foam core, and you can see here I've actually just taken 3 sides of it. There's a space down there, really didn't matter, and then I just hung a sheet of paper behind it. And what that paper does is it just gives me a nice backdrop. And then I have a ring light, which I used to use to light myself when I did my channel, but I found that it's a little too bright and it would reflect on my glasses and stuff. So I haven't really been using it. So I'm glad that I found a different purpose for it, because the ring light wasn't expensive, but you know, it gives a good uniform light. And so I kind of wanted to show you a little bit about how the setup was, and then I want to show you how to add stuff to your stash on Ravelry. So when I'm at the site, I just click on Add to Stash, and then it's asked me where I want to see it. And so when I do say, well, in this case it's Other I Don't Know, and most of them is Other I Don't Know because I bought them a long time ago. And this is name of stashed yarn. So in this case, it's this Terra. And so I can type that in, Terra, and then hit continue. And you'll see here it's populated it, but it wants to search it. So we click this little button there, and now it says click to link to a Ravelry yarn. And it says more than 100 results. So we want to find, but we notice here, you can see that it's from the Fiber Company. So we just have to click the link next to the Fiber Company, and it pre-populates it. And it tells us here about this yarn, Terra, the Fiber Company. It's an Aran weight. And what we can do is you can flip this over and you can verify that information. So 40% alpaca, 40% wool, which is merino wool, and then 20% silk. So great. But you can see here it says 196 yards, 100 grams. Well, we only have a 50 gram ball, so it's only 98 yards. So you don't have to go, this is what it's telling you it normally could be, but here's you can make the adjustments. So where it says per skein 196 yards, 100 grams, you could actually change it to 98 yards and 50 grams. So now it's calculating based on yours. And I happen to have 5 skeins, so I'm going to say 5. So now we've matched this, and we know just how many yards we have exactly to our specification. Then we can go up to the colorway, and it'll suggest some. You can scroll to find yours, or just start typing. So we're going to do Wild Clary, and see Wild Clary, even though they didn't capitalize the C. Go ahead and select that. This means that somebody else pre-populated that in. Purchase data information we don't have. Dye lot, our dye lot here is 854, so we can put in dye lot 854, and that's the same on all my skeins. I've already checked it. And then I'm putting that in, and this is where it gets interesting. This one's going to go in SB2, which is my code for where this yarn is going to go into. That's it. So now we're going to add photos. So after we've entered the information here, we can click on Add Photos, then choose File, Take Photo or Video. And now you can see this is where that paper comes in handy, because there's no hard edge, and with the ring light, it gives you no shadows really. So go ahead and put the yarn. What I like to do is I'll photograph the label, so that way if I ever lose the labels, I have that. So So there's my label picture. I hit use photo, upload now, and it'll upload the photo. I can go ahead and get my next photo ready, which will be the whole skein. So I can go ahead and put that in the window. And as soon as this gets uploaded, you can hit choose files, take photo, and take your normal one. And then I just move my iPad around until I get the right shot. And then I press in there to focus on that in the middle and hit. And then when I know that the shot is good, I'll go ahead and hit use photo, upload now. And now it's uploading the second photo. And then you just say finish with photos. And there you have your photos, your information, where it's going, and hit save changes. There it is. And now if I click on the stash link, you can see that what we just entered is now in my stash. So I hope you've learned a little bit about how to add to your stash. I can find it really beneficial because once the information's in your stash, like by example, this one here is WB12. Even though I've put worsted and multi, I know kind of generally what's in here. If I want to know exactly what's in here, I can go to my Ravelry site, go to my stash, type in stored in, and filter it by stored in, and then put in that code WB12, and it'll give me everything that's stored in that bin. It couldn't be easier. Of course, I can also sort it by my entire stash by yarn weight. So it can say, show me all the fingering, show me all the Aran weight that I have. So beneficial. And then if you're searching for patterns on Ravelry, it'll also tell you, once you're searching for the pattern, if you want to find the yarn, see if it's in your stash. So if you have your stash into Ravelry, it can give you a lot more flexibility, especially when planning out your knitting projects. All right, I hope you found this useful, and we'll keep going. Hope you found this useful, and we'll see you next time. Well, I hope you found that useful, because I know I have. It's going to be amazing being able to search my yarn stash so easily. So I hope you find that very beneficial. At any rate, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Again, it's going to be shorter, more compact. And if you like this format better, please let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see giveaways, please let me know in the comments below. If there's something that you would like me to bring to the masses, please let me know. You can do that a variety of ways. You can either put it in the comment section. You can visit the website, bandversusknitting.com, and use the contact form, or my email address is on that contact form page as well. Alrighty, so we'll see you next time, and thank you for watching. Bye.